Hey guys, today we're going to be working on this 2010 Honda Accord. We're going to be changing the VTC Actuator spring, and these are the tools we're going to be using. They'll be listed in the description down below. First, we're going to have to take the valve cover off. We're going to disconnect the power steering clamp from the back and then disconnect it from the pump. Now that we have the power steering hose bracket out and the two bolts from the power steering pump removed, we're going to carefully take out the hose. Make sure you don't spill any, it will be a little bit messy. And I normally like to tuck it behind the strut bar, just so it's out of the way while you do the rest of the job. Power steering hose removed, we're going to move over to the vacuum hoses on the valve cover. We're just going to squeeze them and lift them right up out of the way. Now that you have the vacuum hose clamps removed, you're just going to twist the hose and pull it right out off the fitting and tuck it right out of the way. Now that we have the vacuum hose removed, we're going to be moving these two bolts that are attached to the bracket onto the valve cover. Now that we have these two bolts removed, we're going to move over to the spark cover and going to take off the 4 bolts right over here. Now that we have this plastic cover off, we can go ahead and remove these 4 bolts from the spark coils. Now that we have the 4 bolts removed, we can carefully take the spark coils out and just tuck them out of the way. We have everything removed, we can go ahead and remove the dipstick and take out the 6 nuts surrounding the valve cover. Now we're going to carefully remove the washers under the valve cover nuts with a flathead screwdriver. Now that everything's removed from the valve cover, we can go ahead and take it off to access the VTC actuator. Now that we have access to the VTC actuator, we're going to go ahead and put a shim in between the back of the VTC and the cam cap, and then we're going to get a clean towel and put it right in between the chain casing. Now that we have the chain case opening covered and nothing can fall in the engine, we can now take the 5 security bolts out with our security bit. Before taking the cover off, you want to note the orientation of the arrow on the VTC cover and the dot on the gear ring. Before taking the final bolt out of the cover, make sure that you carefully hold the cover while removing the plate to make sure the spring stays in place. Now we're going to remove the spring from the VTC actuator and compare the diameter with the one in the kit to see what's closest. Now that we have the old spring from the VTC actuator next to the 2 that came in the kit, we can see that this one's clearly the closer option, so that's going to be the one we're putting back in the car. Put the new spring back into the VTC actuator and then carefully put the cover plate back on, ensuring that the arrow and the gear dot match. Once the VTC cover is back on and the bolt is tightened securely, you can then remove the shim as well as the cloth covering the chain case. And for your final step, clean all mating surfaces and reassemble based on manufacturer's specifications.